Five, four, three, two, one. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the late start, but welcome back to episode 8 of the J&J Show. I'm JJ Seggs. He's Jay Smiles. We're not even going to get into the intro. We have way too much to talk about tonight, and I think we ought to start this off the right way. I mean, let's be honest here. The one main thing that's going to attract a lot of people this year is football because it's New York, and for once, both teams are good.
Both teams
Last
are relevant.
Saturday night, they showcased off for the first time out of two potential matchups where the Jets defeated the Giants 32-24. How are we feeling about this game, Jacob, as a Giants fan?
I didn't watch much of it, but what I did see is that the Jets did start they did have Rodgers playing the first drive, and he did what Rodgers does and drove down the field, threw a nice touchdown to Garrett Wilson, and I like Tommy DeVito, but Giants didn't start the starters, and I can't wait until our regular season matchup.
There were a lot of very funny things that I remember from this game. The first thing that I remember was because I was watching Hard Knocks yesterday, and I saw the Jets do the whole Sopranos intro. That had me wheezing. I was laughing my ass off. Period. End of story. Like, how could you not, as someone who's a proud New Yorker and a huge fan of the Sopranos, like, oh my God, it was excellent. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looked good. I mean, there's not really that much to talk about there. However, there is a lot we can talk about getting into our next topic, and that is, for once in a long time, Yankees fans, you finally have something to smile about. Is it the next baby Bombers? Give us your 2 cents.
Maybe.
How you feeling about these moves?
Obviously, Peraza has been up and down, but finally Pereira has been called up. He was a little shaky to start, but he's getting the hang of things, and unfortunately he wasn't successful today. But we got more prospects getting called up, and I can't wait for Friday night.
Friday night, I believe, is the debut of The Martian. Is that correct?
Yes, Daddy. Oh my God, Dominic. Yes, that is true.
What the hell? Okay.
Sorry for that.
Listen, I'm not a Yankees fan at all. In fact, everyone knows me. I'm one of the biggest Yankee haters on the planet. But here's my 2 cents on this thing. I feel like Yankees fans are a little bit over their heads when they said that this guy was going to be the next Mickey Mantle. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, you said Anthony Volpe was going to be the next Derek Jeter. Are you going to finally set realistic expectations for your prospects?
I mean, you could say that Dominguez was rushed. You could say that, but at the same time, I mean, he's facing Verlander. It's going to be a tough debut for Wells and Dominguez. It's the fourth time we're facing Verlander.
Guys.
Fourth time facing Verlander.
Fourth time you're facing Verlander. And not to mention the fact that you guys just lost the game to the Detroit Tigers. I did not watch this game at all.
We won a series.
The Yankees are going on some random power surge.
I don't know what happened this series.
But Gleyber Torres kind of blew it today.
Yeah, Gleyber Torres
kind of blew it.
Gleyber Torres. It was a double play ball, easy double play ball. Yankees can't move the runner in the 10th inning, and bottom 10, it's a double play ball. Loizaga with the nice beat to Gleyber, but Gleyber lollipops it over DJ's head.
You know what? You make a very valid point with Gleyber. His defense hasn't really been up to par this season.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing that I haven't mentioned yet. At least there is one team in New York State that knows how to turn a double play correctly. And that was the New York Mets getting a big win, 6-5 over the Texas Rangers. And I'd like to bring on our first guest of the night from the Locked Up Sports Podcast. Check them out, the best underground show I've watched in the New York State area. My boy Bob, how's it going today, brother?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Good. How are you doing?
We're doing all right. That game's
2 cents on this game.
That game's irrelevant. I mean, I didn't watch it. I didn't because the Yankees are irrelevant at this point. The Mets are irrelevant. The question I have is, are they going to keep Cashman? Are they going to keep Boone?
As the Yankees fans, I didn't even watch the first 7 innings of the game.
We watched full.
Yeah. So how are we feeling about this game? The DJ Stewart legacy game.
Yeah, DJ Stewart.
He's the GOAT.
Oh my God.
And I'm seeing here that the Mets won. I was actually watching some tennis tonight. That's a big loss for Texas Texas
Yes.
is right there. That's a big loss for Texas. They got Scherzer. They went all in at the deadline. If they don't make the playoffs, that's gonna be disappointing. Look, listen, the Mets are just playing out the string. I think I'm still upset that they gave Scherzer a tribute video.
That was
I mean,
BS. That was
you know,
total BS.
What are you doing with a tribute video? That's I mean, he was here for 5 minutes. He fell flat on his face. Any big game he pitched all right. I mean, if you look at the numbers, he was all right. But I mean, we needed him against the Braves to get the the division last year. We needed him against the Padres. I was at all 3 games, 7-0 before you even
Ouch.
got in your seat. And then we needed him
Ouch.
this year, a couple big games. He fell flat on his face. I think they should have put up a video and had it been a
Every home run
a
he gave up.
surveillance video of him stealing $90 million.
Not only that, you could have also mentioned the fact that how he went into the clubhouse and like demanded to know like what direction was going on. If you
Well,
were pitching so badly, why do you deserve to know? And that's probably why they traded him.
Well, I don't blame him for that. I mean, they traded. It was his call with the trade because he had to waive the no trade deadline, and I get that he didn't want to be on the team that was rebuilding, but he shouldn't have made it public because now he basically, by making it public, saying that they're aiming for 2025, it made it look like, okay, now we're not going after Ohtani, which I don't think we're going after Ohtani anyway.
We're not.
No, and I think it's probably for the best because he's not going to be. He's going to get 12 years or 13 years. And those contracts are never good. You're going to be sitting here at Jay Smiles in a couple of years and talking about how bad Judge's contract is, just like how you're talking about how Stanton is garbage now, right?
Yeah.
I've been saying that Judge's contract was one of the worst in the league. I got so much backlash.
Maybe if Stanton was playing like he was in Miami, then that contract would definitely be worth it. But now,
I mean, he was 23 years old, 24 years old in Miami. Now he's older. The problem with that is they're all 10-year contracts. When you're 10 years older, I can't play now like I did 15 years ago. You guys won't be able to play like you can now when you're my age.
Yeah.
It's just you get old, but somebody's gonna pay it to him. Someone's gonna give Ohtani a boatload of money, and it's gonna be great, but it's gonna be bad at the back end. They're all bad at the back end.
But here's the other thing I gotta mention. Why spend so much money in the offseason when you've got apparently nothing but homegrown talent? The savior has arrived. Ronnie Mauricio has finally made it to Queens. How are we feeling about this?
Well, I mean, listen, yeah, I'm excited that he's here and everything. He's young, but they have no pitching for next year. They're gonna have to get pitching. They're an all right team. They should be okay next year. They should be, they could contend for a wild card. I think they'll be a lot like the Arizona Diamondbacks are this year. Kind of a year away. But look, the Diamondbacks are a year away, but they're contending. They might even sneak into the playoffs, and then you never know. So I think that's the kind of team they'll be.
My 2 cents on this whole pitching thing is I think you got to get Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Julio Urias. But
Yamamoto might ask for a bit.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We have Uncle Steve. Listen, money's no object anymore.
And speaking of Steve Cohen, I feel like speaking of, shout out to my boy Brett Beatty, who got called back up to the majors finally.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been playing games with Brett Beatty since 2 years ago. They've been bringing him up. They've been sending him down. He's underwhelmed. He hasn't been great. He'll probably go somewhere else and be great. That's what that's what Jeff Kent did, and that's what Mets do. I tell people I have a list.
Justin
I have a
Turner
list.
too.
Justin Turner's the top of this list. I have a list. It's called former Met, now good. Justin Turner is the top of that list.
Travis
Jeff Kent is on that list.
Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, and then you have former was good, now Met. Scherzer, Robbie Alomar, Bobby Bonilla, people like that. It's the Mets are just you're a Mets fan. It's not something we choose. It's not something we want to be. And you didn't. I don't know how old you guys are, but you guys did you guys live through the '90s dynasty? Or were you too young for that?
I was too young.
Way too young, right?
Way too
Okay,
young.
so you've seen what? So you don't know. You've only saw one championship?
I was born the last time the Yankees won their World Series.
Okay, so you were born the last time. So you've never seen them win.
No.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. All right.
I was saying I was maybe the good luck, but now I feel like I was the curse.
You may or may not have been the curse, but here's one thing that I definitely got to mention about this whole Ronnie Mauricio thing. So let me flip back to my Mauricio graphic. I give him 3 months tops. if he is not performing at a major league level 3 months from now,
Hold
I
on
say
one
we trade
second,
him.
fellas. I had an echo going. I thought I heard my voice going, and it was something else. It was something else
it's all
playing.
good, Bobby.
Love you.
I
Um,
say if Ronnie does not perform in 3 months in the majors, trade him because for the
Tra-
foreseeable future, the Mets are crazy locked into middle infield. They got Jeff McNeil locked up for the next couple of years, and if you want to move him to right field, you've got major league prospects in Drew Gilbert. You've got Luis Angel Acuna. You've got Lindor locked up for a decade. I mean,
Well,
where is Ronnie going to play? And you could sign a DH and an outfielder. in the
well,
offseason.
you have Lindor and you have Acuna, who's probably hopefully going to come up. He's going to be the star of this whole thing. That's going to be the big move that they got this year for Scherzer. That is where we play the tribute video for Scherzer when Acuna comes up, because if he's anything like his brother, I mean, forget it, we'll take it. But as far do they trade Pete? The question now is, do they trade Pete Alonso or do they keep Pete Alonso?
See, that's actually a very good segue into this because I heard rumors that the Pete Alonso rumors are clickbait. People are just using the Mets for click strategy. I don't think this man's getting traded at all. And I think that he does have a little bit of leverage on Cohen. But Cohen's a trader. He's smart. He knows that he's not just going to let him go. He would have to make the biggest splash in the world if teams wanted Alonso. He's not
Well, I
gonna
mean,
pick up for cheap. He's no
Listen,
football
it depends. It depends. If they're gonna trade him, you have to trade him this year. You have to trade him at the winter meetings. Okay. If they don't trade him at the winter meetings this year, then you have to keep him and you have to sign him. Now they're far apart in years and they're far apart in money, which is not a big deal as far as I'm concerned, because what it is everybody's far apart in years and money until the 11th hour. That's how it works. In the 11th hour, everything comes together. That's how it usually goes. Is that
That's
me
correct.
with the noise? But
No.
okay. But with Alonso, you have to trade. If you're gonna trade him, and I'm okay with trading him as long as you're gonna get back some things. You have to trade him at the winter meetings this year, because if you hold on to him and you decide next year that you fall out of it, and you want to trade him next year, then he's just a 2-month rental, and you're not gonna get anything for him. Now, I'm okay with them trading him. There's nothing that says Pete Alonso can't get traded. Okay, they traded away Nolan Ryan. They traded away Tom Seaver. Gooden, Strawberry left. The only homegrown Met that we have his whole career is David Wright, and that got cut short because of his back. And if Alonso stays, great. He'll be the leader in all the categories and all the offensive categories. He'll have the most home runs because it's still Strawberry. He'll have all the offensive records for the Mets, and that's great. But I don't think he's untradeable. I was thinking maybe they were going to trade him this year at the deadline because, anybody can be traded. Anybody can be traded.
Yeah, I'm willing to listen. I'm not one to trade Pete Alonso at all, and I think that he's such a big move for this clubhouse. I think if you trade Alonso, a lot of things are going to go south for this team. But speaking of changing it up, the Mets today made a couple of very interesting moves, I guess you could say. They fired, their player development coach. They fired some people in the analytics department. Who's going next? I think Jeremy Barnes and Jeremy Hefner are both going to be fired sooner than later.
Yeah, probably. At this point, like I said, it really doesn't matter. They're getting the guy from Texas coming in to run the show next year.
Texas? You mean Milwaukee?
Milwaukee. That's what I mean. Milwaukee.
Stearns.
They're getting Stearns to come in from Milwaukee next year. I think he's already kind of running, pushing buttons. They're having some talks with him because you're not making all these moves without talking to him if he's coming in. They already said they wanted him. Milwaukee wouldn't let him out of his contract. He's going to be the guy. He's buddies with Epler. Epler's going to stay on as the GM. This guy's going to kind of run baseball operations. So they're going to clean house except for Epler. And as far as that goes, I'm not really concerned over those guys that, if they can get rid of the hitting coaches, front office guys. It's going to be Steve Cohen, it's going to be Stearns, and it's going to be Epler. And those are going to be the guys making the decisions. And I think we got the core already. I think he's going to probably pick up a couple free agent pitchers. You got Quintana. Quintana looks good. He looks like he's settling in.
He's really good.
He's pitching well. You got you're gonna have to get rid of a couple guys. You're gonna have
Carrasco's
Senga.
gone. Vogelback's gone.
Oh yeah, correct. You know what? I don't know about Vogelback being gone. To be honest with you, I'm with you. I want him gone, but for some
Why
reason I
on
feel like
earth would we hold on to him?
because I feel like they like Vogelback for some reason, right? There's no reason why he should be in the lineup every night. All back in the beginning of the season, there was no reason, and they're like analytics. What analytics are telling you to put Vogelback in? And he's going to be the best player up there. I think they should get rid of Vogelback and have DJ Stewart on this team. Have
That's a
DJ
great
Stewart
idea.
as a fourth outfielder. You know, DH. He
Yes.
looks the part. He's a good
Yes.
bench guy. He seems to be like he just kind of looks the part of a ball player. Vogelback is he what does he do? He draws walks and he
Yes.
runs into one
And
every once in a while
listen,
and he
if you're
clogs
not
up the
gonna
bases.
Yeah,
and
if you're
he
not
gets a
gonna
meme made
DH
out of him, and he gets a meme made out of
Yes,
him.
correct. Vogel
Yeah,
walk. And if you're not gonna DH Stewart, you could DH Ronnie, you could DH McNeil, you could DH Alonso, you could DH Drew Gilbert if you call him up next year.
Yeah, well the kids you want the kid if you're gonna bring the kids up, yeah, you want him in the lineup every day. You want him playing the field, you want him in the lineup. That's what happened with Beatty. We stunted Beatty's growth. We brought him up. He didn't play. He got sent back down. Then they brought him back up last year for the Braves series, and it was the biggest series of the year. And all of a
That
sudden
was
now
a-
Beatty's starting at third base.
That was a bonehead decision by us to bring up him and Alvarez. We basically fed them to the wolves. Let's be honest here. We
Now-
fed them to the wolves that series.
Yeah, and I would also say I'm not sure Buck is the sure thing to come back.
Ooh,
I
see, I was
think
just
what-
about to mention that because you went through the names of the core and you said no to Buck. So I'm like,
Yeah.
is it a yes or a no for Buck?
Well, I
So-
think what could happen here is there's word that Craig Counsell wants to step away from the game for a little while. He's on the last year of a contract. Stearns is going to come to the Mets. Maybe Counsell takes his year off because he wants to go watch his kids in college, and then they have Buck finish out his contract next year, kind of hold down the fort, take the team, and then Craig Counsell comes in the following year. That's just a theory.
What I've been saying with obviously I've talked with my dad and stuff, but he's saying but would the Yankees bring in Buck if he gets fired and Boone gets fired?
I think this is probably no. I think this. I mean, you're gonna bring Buck in. I mean, listen, Buck's a good manager, but
Another name I said to him is Mattingly. Don Mattingly.
what are you gonna do? You're gonna bring Buck in for
no,
2 years?
No.
Mattingly, I think is a good. You're gonna bring Buck in for 2 years, right? You're gonna bring Buck in for 2 years, then you're gonna fire him, and then Mattingly's gonna take over and run a dynasty.
See, listen, I wanted
He
Bochy.
said Buck. He
I-
said Buck, and I was like, that would be stupid. And I countered with Mattingly because Mattingly only signed a 1-year deal with the Blue Jays as their
I
bench
wanted-
coach.
Where
No,
Mattingly
you-
goes, negativity follows.
No, I
All his
disagree.
hitters
Mattingly's a
suck.
good manager.
Not hitting
Matt-
wise.
Listen,
I'll tell
Mattingly, the manager is not going to make you hit. Just like a hitting coach is not going to make these guys. Hitting coaches are irrelevant. They're there to take the fall. Tell me how Mattingly is going to make Josh Donaldson hit better. When he was on the team, he's not. Okay, these guys know how to hit. They've been hitting the same way since they were 10 years old. They're not
Right.
changing anything. Nobody's going to teach you how to hit. The
feel
hitting
like-
coach is the most useless position, most useless job in baseball.
100%.
And a manager is kind of there and Joe Torre didn't teach them how to play.
Yeah.
He just kind of managed them. Manage the bullpen. Don't wear out your
Yeah.
bullpen, which Buck does. Don't wear out your bullpen. Keep it together with the team, and that's it. Us three can make the moves from our couch. Let's be real, right? You know
Couch
what movie
GM,
he's gonna
yeah,
make.
I love being a
Sure.
couch GM. It's awesome.
And you're
I love
right.
it.
You're right all the time because it's easy. That's not the manager's job. Boone is probably gonna get fired here,
Yeah.
but it's not his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, really, how many games did Boone lose this year? Come
I
on.
mean,
Too
let's say the
many.
only thing I
Too
yell at
many.
him for, is either taking a pitcher out too early or putting the wrong pitcher in.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, what's he gonna do? Half of that's coming from Cashman, and you got your numbers guys, and he's not even making the lineup. It's kind of a collaboration. It's a real easy job if you could get it being a baseball manager. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I just want to leave this off with this. The guy I wanted the Mets to get was Bruce Bochy. I wanted Bochy badly from the Rangers.
But Bochy's he's the kind of guy that these new like Epler and Cashman and people like that, they don't want Bochy. They
I
barely
know, but
want Buck because Buck is kind of an old school. They don't want old school managers. They don't want Dusty
Bochy's a
Baker.
winner. The thing is, Bochy's a winner, proven winner.
Yeah, but so is So was what's his face down in Tampa Bay, and they're all analytics. The
Kevin
Yankees are
Cash?
winning. The Yankees are winners. The Yankees are winning the ALCS last year. They're in the playoffs every year. I mean, this is the first. Like they're under 500, and I'm sure you hear him bitching and moaning all the time. Like we're not crying any tears for you. All right, welcome to the party.
We do not care about you. We do not like you. We don't
No,
care about you.
teams are under 500 all the time.
Because I'll tell you this,
just then.
it makes us feel a lot better about ourselves.
It feels totally different when your team's under 500.
Yeah. Well, okay. Welcome to the club, big guy.
Welcome to life. Welcome to life, bro.
Club. So yeah, that's pretty much all we got for this MLB part of the show. Bob, thank you so much for coming on, man. You're an absolute blast. Cannot wait to have you back here.
Absolutely. Locked Up Sports. Check me out. LockedUpSports.net. We get good guests. You guys, we'll have you guys on one day.
Pleasure.
Come
We'd
on, talk
love
some
to.
football, and
Absolutely.
let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. Have a good night, Bob.
All right, fellas, be good. Thank you.
All right, have a good one. All righty. So that was. We will take a quick 30-second halftime because let's be honest here. I think this next guy we're gonna bring up. Apparently, he needs some crazy big introduction because he's Mr. Williamsport. He's Mr. ESPN. He's Mr. Hot Shot. I mean, just get him on already.
Yes,
Have
sir.
fun with the show.
What's going on, boys? Thank you for getting me on here.
Anytime, bro.
I never asked for a big introduction, by the way, JJ. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from at all.
I don't know what JJ came up with that one.
I don't know. He likes to pull things out of the blue.
He's probably looking
Just
back.
smells-
He's probably looking back at the text message. Like, I swear he said that somewhere.
I'm digging the new haircut, though, Jay. That looks very nice.
Yeah, school haircut. JJ, I think you're muted, JJ. I think your headset went out again.
Yeah. JJ, we can't hear you.
My fault. Baseball is in a rough position this year, and both of our teams are not in the playoffs, but this guy apparently is. And we got all the numbers pulled up here.
Oh, yeah.
Who's getting into the wild card, baby? Give us your takes. Give us
Who's
your
getting
2
the wild
cents.
card? Well, I
Who's
actually
making it in?
I did some predictions over on the Across the River podcast a couple weeks
Yes,
back.
our rivals. Our rival.
They're not the rivals, bro.
That's true, because we've had both of them on our show.
They're
All
the friends.
friends with
They're the friends.
Ben
They're friends.
Gans and Dylan Shalom over there.
They're
Friends.
they're the ally. We are the two best.
At the time I made my predictions, the wild card teams were in the AL Tampa Bay, Houston, and Toronto. And then in the NL, it was Philly, San Fran, and Miami. And then I predicted the wild card teams to be in the AL. I predicted Houston, Seattle, and Tampa Bay, as well as Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Chicago. And I was almost perfect with those
You were.
because I predicted the Mariners were going to skyrocket, they skyrocketed way more than I think anyone
Sure.
would have ever thought.
Blasphemous.
And I mean, I was looking at their schedule. They had a pretty easy tear teams to go through. They played the Royals, the Pirates.
Hold on. Why can I not see the Mariners on this thing? Where are the Mariners? Do they exist?
Oh yeah,
That's weird. What the hell?
I guess they don't exist.
The Mariners don't exist.
Oh no, it's because that's league leaders.
Oh, it's
They're
wild
showing
card.
league
That's
leaders.
wild card. That's wild
Yeah.
card. They're a division leader.
Oh
the
yeah,
the Mariners are
forgot.
currently leading the AL West. So yeah, and
It's
then
crazy.
I predicted
It's crazy to hear now that Texas is in third, and they're
I
literally
know.
almost a half. They're a half of a game apart.
Yeah, it's crazy the run that the Mariners have gone on. It's like,
Yeah.
especially since being like however many games they were below 500 back in like June or like back in May. The transition is crazy. Like you've finally seen like J-Rod for what he's supposed to be, and I think
Yeah.
he's going to be a sensational talent if he can keep growing at this level.
They also have like young also guys you wouldn't expect like Suarez. He's turned up. He's also gotten hot.
He has, and I mean the pop has always been there, so that's going to be super helpful. And there's my Baltimore Orioles up at the top. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to say that. And I know you saw you guys. Yeah, you
The
guys
fact
were just
that-
talking with Bob, but I
The
mean,
fact that my New York Mets are not even on this page makes me want to vomit.
Hey, I'm just happy we won a series. Winning a series is our World Series.
I know, but did you have DJ Stewart, former Baltimore Oriole, hit 2 home runs in one game and get hit by a pitch and rob a potential home run at the wall?
Actually, we had DJ Stewart hit 2 home runs against us when he was with Baltimore. So yes,
Yep.
That's correct.
yeah, DJ Stewart owned the
Baltimore
Yankees when he
legend.
was on the yeah.
Yes,
Just
yes,
say,
he did.
Kind of like how Gleyber Torres owned the Orioles for like a season.
That
Doesn't
one
matter,
year.
Gleyber Torres can't throw a ball to first, can he, Jay Smiles?
No, he cannot. He definitely cannot.
Anyways, so everybody knows me. I'm a baseball casual besides the New York Mets. If the Mets are not good, I'm not watching baseball.
Yeah,
I'm going to be straightforward with you. But my predictions are going to be, so my wild card predictions, because let me pull up my wild card graph back up. So say goodbye to your Orioles for a quick second. There we go. I think the wild card teams are going to be Tampa Bay, Houston, and honestly, I think Texas falls out. I think the Red Sox are going to catch them.
No,
Red
you're not
Sox?
pulling this.
No,
You're not
get
doing
out of here.
You're not doing this.
Get out of here.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The Red Sox don't have a hope in the world. It's going to be
Good.
Texas. It's going to stay the same. Now, the NL wild card, that's a lot harder to predict.
Mhm.
I want to believe that there's a chance because we're only 8.5 games back. 11 games, 12 games for 500. And we're 8 games back, which is crazy. But I think it's going to be the Philadelphia Phillies, the Chicago Cubs, and honestly, as much as I love the Giants, I think with the waiver claims that they made,
I know
that
you're
might be
going.
enough to put the Cincinnati Reds in that
Yes,
third wild.
sir. Yes,
That's
bro.
too bold. I'm a huge Reds guy. Like, I believe in the Reds. I think Jacob knows that better than almost anyone. But I can't see the starting pitching holding up. I really don't.
I agree. Hunter Green's back, right? Isn't he back?
He got rocked in his first
Yeah,
start.
he got right. He was a star. Like even
He
though
was.
his ERA was not where like you want it to be, he was their star pitcher. But he
Mhm.
just got rocked, so I really
Yeah,
don't
I mean-
think he'll be much anymore.
His stuff is gross. And I mean, I'm going to make a comparison to the Orioles and stuff like that because that's just what I know best.
Yeah.
But if you look at someone like Grayson Rodriguez, when he first came up into the league, I feel like it's a lot
velocity.
yeah, it's a lot like Hunter Green where you throw a lot of fastballs and you have some really nasty off speed. But at the same time, you're letting up bombs and you're letting up hard hit balls because of the gas that you're throwing.
Yeah.
But like the outs you're getting are mostly strikeouts. So you're gonna see a lot of strikeouts, but just a lot of hard exit velos from guys like Hunter Green, and then almost guys that are the exact opposite, like the kind of soft throwing lefty on the Reds, like Andrew Abbott, who again started really good and then has kind of been going downhill a little bit. And I do like the bats. I love the Reds bats, especially just Claim Bader, right? Myself personally, not a big fan of Bader, but Renfroe too. Bader's a great player. I think he's going to fit in really, really nicely into that Reds lineup.
I know you love him too. I know you love Bader also.
I'm not a big fan of Bader personally, but
I
as a
actually
player,
like Harrison Bader.
I have to respect him.
I'm gonna be honest. I wanted the Mets to get Hunter Renfroe so badly because I predicted them to get him at the trade deadline. I'm dead serious. At the start of the season, it was him. You're gonna laugh at this one, Hef. I had him, Anthony Santander as a potential trade target. And now here we are potentially trading Justin Verlander to the Orioles on deadline day. My at the tables.
I was shaking. I wanted Verlander. The amount of fake Verlander Orioles graphics I saw like gave me heart attacks. And then I wanted Verlander or Cease, and then we settled on Jack Flaherty.
Yeah.
So like it's just unlucky.
Bro, the whole group chat we have this group chat and it was like Cease, bro. The Orioles are getting Cease, but then it was Flaherty.
You should
I want him so
have
bad.
tuned into my 4-hour trade deadline stream.
I did for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, dude, I
That's
never
your
miss it. I never miss a stream. Come on now.
Appreciate you, buddy.
I got
Kenyon
you.
Middleton and who is the other guy?
We don't even talk about him. He's gone anymore. So
Wait, what? You got rid of him already?
Yeah. Spencer Howard got released. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. No. We don't move on from the Yankees. So
Anyways, let's just get these World Series predictions out of the way. Who you guys think's taking it?
all right. Well, before we say that, I had a wild card prediction, JJ.
All right,
Anyway,
go ahead. Make wildcard predictions.
So AL East, Tampa, bro. They're really. I'm kidding. Don't even get happy. Don't even put a frown on your face. The Orioles are winning that division easily. Anyway, so we got the Rays, Now this the West. What? I don't know who to pick. I mean,
By the way, I have Houston winning the West, so switch Houston and Seattle.
here's the thing. Texas, sleep team this year. Seattle, sleep team. But then there's the Astros. The Astros are the Patriots of the MLB.
Stop.
No matter
Just
what,
stop.
they're gonna be good. So I'll have the Astros winning the West.
They
Now
both
the-
cheat too.
Yeah, they both cheat. That's true. Now the Central, I don't even want to talk about that. So my teams were going Rays, and then I'm gonna have both Rangers and Mariners. I actually think both of them will actually make it. And then for the NL, the Phillies. Yes, the kid you saw in the background, he's a Phillies fan. The Phillies. Now this NL Central division, I'm kid you not, but the sleep team
Milwaukee.
of that division, the Chicago Cubs, baby. They're gonna win the Central. They're winning the Central.
Ow.
So it's
Wow.
gonna go
Yup.
Phillies.
Yup.
Phillies. Let's see. The Brewers are gonna be. I don't know. I'm not. The Phillies, Brewers, and then what Heffy was saying earlier, or JJ was saying, the Reds are sleepy. The Reds are definitely a sleeper team. I don't know.
Season sucks.
I don't.
This baseball
It's gonna
season
be-
absolutely
I feel
sucks.
I feel like it's gonna be close between the Giants, D-backs, and Reds.
I hope
Yeah.
the Phillies lose every game for the rest of the season. That would be fantastic.
I mean, maybe let's see. I have it right here. D-backs. I would say the D-backs are a sleeper team, but it depends on how they finish the season.
hmm
It's how you finish. Like it's like you're right, but then it's like, will they stop? Like when you cross the finish line in a race, are you walking across? Are you finishing good across? Are you running across?
Yeah.
That depends. That's what it is for the D-backs. Are they gonna walk across? Or are they gonna run across?
Yeah, and I love the D-backs like as a team, like Merrill
Yeah.
Kelly, Zach Gallen, the rotation. But there's a lot of games where you see that the bats are just not there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the opposite of what I was saying about the Reds. And Jay, I love the Cubs take, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I said on the Across the River, I
Bro,
predicted the
I've
Cubs.
always, I know, I'm not sure, but I have a couple friends who are Cubs fans, bro. Top
I
five favorite team, to be honest with you.
I predicted them to top the Brewers and win that division like weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it's been panning out because the Stroman steal 1-2 punch all season has been
Can't
gross.
stand
And then
Marcus
Alonso, bro.
Stroman, that
Alonso to
guy.
shut games down has been
He's
amazing.
been amazing. Yeah, I've been watching his stuff. I'm a big guy on closers. I love closers. Right? Like I just think it's so cool. You can go out
Of
there
course,
every night.
of course you love closers. You have two of the best closers in the league. We get it, okay? Yeah, I went all the way to
Everyone pray for
Baltimore.
Felix.
Yeah, I went all the way to Baltimore and I couldn't see Felix Bautista play. I was not happy about it.
I saw Cano pick up a really nice save when I went down there a couple
Yeah,
days
that
back
game was
against the
really
Rockies.
That was a
great
really
game.
good game, by the way. And I went to the
Great
Mets
game.
one. Obviously, that may have been the best crowd the Orioles had all year. It was pandemonium.
I haven't
Only
been
because of
to.
the 7 line. Only because of the 7 line.
No, the reason why it was because of the 1983 championship reunion. That's definitely
Yeah.
what had it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I haven't been to a Yankee or to, oh my goodness, an Orioles game. Excuse me. Jeez, that packed since I can't even remember. I've been going to games every year.
Was
This
it
looked
that
like
packed?
playoff
Was it
atmosphere.
that packed?
It was
Was it that packed you just won?
absolutely packed, absolutely packed. I looked across. I was sitting in right center, in the batter's eye, sort of, and I looked out and I just couldn't see a single empty seat. And they opened up the
top.
the top level, which they never do, and like they said it was near sellout, and it was so amazing, and everyone was like so into the game.
It's
I
always
couldn't-
it's always enjoyable when you see like a team that was at the bottom pack. Like
Yeah,
even for like the A's when they did their reverse boycott, it was just great to see them with
Yeah.
actual good number of fans. in the
no,
stands.
100%.
Sell the team, Fisher.
Yeah, hashtag sell the team.
Pray for Oakland. Anyways, let's make a few World Series predictions because let's be honest, it's getting late. Let's just get this over with. Y'all make your World Series predictions. Go. I gotta
Well-
get ready real fast.
I'm not. Let's see. So obviously it's the Braves, but if I'm trying to pick someone other than the Braves, now for the Orioles. Like I said with the D-backs in the playoffs, are the Orioles running? Or are they slow jogging? Not walking. Are they going to slow jog? I feel like the Orioles might be a nervous team, to be honest. Young, not much experience. Unfortunately, I don't want to say Houston. Oh, I hope they get out in the first round. I do not want to see them again.
That will not be happening. They're winning the World Series
So-
most likely.
My guess, I'm going to say the Braves. The team I want to win is the Orioles, baby. Go O's. Go O's. Go
Yes,
O's.
sir. Yes, sir. I have a very similar take in that there's just as much as I want to say the O's and just how amazing it would be if they even won the pennant. I would make I think the next 5 years of my life.
Yeah.
Just the sheer jumps that they made over the past years is absurd to me. But no team's beating the Braves. Like, I don't care if it's Houston.
Shut up.
Houston is built
Shut
for the
your mouth.
playoffs.
I mean,
Houston
another
is
team,
built for the playoffs,
a team I would say that they were a sleep team last year. They were down in the dumps in game 1 of that wild card series. Don't count out the Phillies. Don't count out the Phillies.
Shut up. Shut up.
It's true.
Can't
It's
be
true.
biased.
Harper's on a hot streak. The
This is my
power
nightmare.
has
This is my
gone
nightmare.
from
This is my
JJ's
nightmare.
that Phillies lineup.
JJ's crumbling over there.
Please, I had to deal with the Phillies last year, bro. Not again, please.
Turner's coming into his element. He's playing like
Bro,
the player
all right,
that
all right,
they
all
wanted.
right.
Turner with the turnaround of the century, bro.
Okay, no
Exactly.
more Phillies Braves talk before I blow a fuse.
All right,
Anyway,
JJ. All right,
onto
JJ.
my
JJ,
prediction.
what's your prediction?
onto
Yeah.
my prediction. I just want to say
I picked
that-
the Blue Jays.
at the very start of the season, I had this team down in the dumps. I thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in baseball this year. Little did I know, I absolutely suck at predictions. Then I went and I saw this team in person. And I'm like, wait a second. Is this an MLB fan base or is this a goddamn cult? I don't know what it is,
I'm thinking
and
of the
I
teams
don't
you
care.
saw play.
but I'm a part of it now.
Yes, sir.
Let's go,
Baltimore
JJ.
Orioles will be going to the World Series.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I hope to
So-
make it to I hope to make it to Camden next year. I need to.
I gotta have you and I gotta get to Camden next year. 100%.
I'm entirely down for sure.
Yo,
Be my-
I'm good.
let me be your guest.
Yo, hashtag camp trip to Camden next year.
Oh God, help
We
us.
can convince Bruce. Come on. Let's take the short 5-hour trip down.
Listen, unfortunately, I have to be the bad guy every now and then. I'm sticking with my prediction from the beginning of the season. The Orioles just aren't ready. I think Houston goes back to back.
No chance. No chance. Like Houston is not beating the Orioles.
I'm putting
sorry.
the record out here now. Let the record show the Atlanta Braves will not even make it to the World Series.
Who is going to beat them, JJ?
Hey,
I'll
baseballs are.
give
Hey,
you- I will give you the Dodgers. That's it.
listen,
I'll
let me
give
tell you
you
this
the
right now,
Dodgers.
though. Weren't the Dodgers a 111 win team last year?
Yeah, but the Dodgers currently are losing 7-1 to the Braves right now as we speak.
Okay, so the Braves are a regular season team.
The
Okay.
Braves. Are you forgetting the Braves won the World Series 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, because they were the underdog for once. They weren't the favorite. Don't you understand? The front runners never win in
I
Major League
think-
Baseball.
I think you are in denial. JJ. As a Mets fan, you can't stand to see this Braves dynasty with players who are going to be
Don't
around
you dare call it
until-
a dynasty, or I will
until
go through the screen and choke you out.
2027. All their key players, their stars, are around until 2027,
Keep
JJ.
talking about the Atlanta Braves, I will go through the screen and choke you out. So just stop.
JJ, let me
Okay.
get something real quick. JJ, let me get something real quick.
What are you possibly gonna get?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. What are they both grabbing? What is this?
I will chop that hat off with
Oh my
this.
god.
Are you doing the chop? You're doing the chop?
Yo, clip
JJ, you're
it.
doing
Yo,
the chop.
Gans, if you're watching, clip it.
He's
JJ
doing the
Braves fan.
chop. JJ Seglio is doing the chop.
This is not a chop. That's me just whacking the hat off. Take that garbage hat off before. Hey, you see this right here? If you don't burn that hat, I'm going to burn the Cedric Mullins t-shirt.
Oh,
I will set
JJ,
this
too
on
bad you
fire.
paid money for this. Too
Yeah,
bad
you paid money for that, dude.
Nah, I'm kidding. I love Cedric to death. Listen, I
Fair
get what
play.
you're saying about the Atlanta Braves, but here's the thing. When's the last time a front runner ever won in Major League Baseball? Since 1998, it has not happened once.
Hmm.
Because the last time I believe it was the Yankees. Correct? Am I right on that? Because 2000, wipe that smirk off your face. Go back to the corner of the room.
Come on, man.
Go to the
Below
back corner.
500. Below
Let's
500.
see. 2020 last year the front runners were the Dodgers. They lost in the first round. 2021, I'm pretty sure it was. Heck, you know better than I do. I'm not a baseball fan. You got to tell me.
2021. You want the regular season champs for each
Just
year?
regular season champs. I'm pretty sure the last team that was the front runner that won it all was the 2000 Yankees.
Well, in 2021, San Francisco had 107 wins, and they got knocked
They
out by
lost in the first
Dodgers.
round too. No,
Yeah,
the
but
first
that
round.
was on a terrible call. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It
that-
didn't
was-
matter. They were gonna
You have
lose the
no
game
idea.
regardless.
You
Oh,
don't know.
no. Wilmer Flores was
know.
going to hit a bomb.
Listen, I love Wilmer Flores.
No,
to
in
death.
20
Y'all know
JJ 2020, the Dodgers had the best regular season record, and they ended up winning.
Man, I don't
that doesn't
I
count.
don't
It's a
count
60 game season.
We're not going to count it.
Does not count.
No.
I mean,
The ring counts, but not the regular season champions.
Okay. If you want to go back to 2019,
It was definitely not the Nationals.
who,
2019,
oh, it was
2019 was the Dodgers.
the Dodgers, and they
Who
lost in
to
the
the Nationals.
Lost to the Nationals. What a team! I love that team.
18 was the
I
Astros.
thought this year's Mets could have been the 2019 Nationals.
Of course you did.
When they beat the Atlanta Braves, I had a decent amount of hope.
No,
but then I'm like,
2018. No, 2018 was the
can you
Sox.
take that hat
The
off
Sox won.
before I
Stop.
vomit
Oh.
on stream? Please
yes.
take that hat off before I kick you. I will remove you from this stream if you don't take that hat off.
JJ, stop.
Please take the hat off. Please. That's all I'm asking for.
Don't change it.
Put on the O's hat. That'd be a lot better.
Don't change it, JJ.
Please. Sorry.
It's your podcast. It's your podcast.
Listen, I
It's
can't
your
get the bridge on my head. There we go. Finally. Okay. Now I can breathe.
Hey, baby, come on. Best team in baseball.
JJ almost suffocated with that.
Best team in baseball. Okay.
Sorry, I was about to have a stroke. My apologies. Anyways, like I was saying before, I mean, I just don't see the Braves going all the way. And I'm gonna be honest. I've had this hammer waiting for my little cousin who's a Braves fan. If the Braves ever win the World Series, I will chop his head off with this thing.
Nice.
All right, well, JJ's cousin, you can sue him now.
Yeah.
Nah, I would never. But I will give him the tomahawk. I've been trying to get rid of this thing forever, but again, it just
Yo, JJ's
looks
cousin,
great.
if you're watching, get it on video and send it to me, please.
It does look pretty cool though, let's be honest. But in all seriousness, I think that the one team that really is a problem for me this year is Houston because of the fact that they got Justin Verlander back. Their bats are all back. And the Astros are a postseason. You know how there's regular season teams? The Astros are a postseason team. Oh crap, what the hell just happened there? Whoops. Okay.
Well, what I like about the Astros, JJ, is that and they can do stuff in the postseason that other teams can't. So they can every once in a while they'll pitch like a bullpen game. Well, they'll see the starting pitcher go like 3 innings, and then especially in that, I believe it was 2021, the series versus the Red Sox where Kike Hernandez went on the tear. Where the Astros end up winning that series, but I watched every game of that series, and I thought the Astros, like win or lose, besides the game where they let up 10 runs in that like those first 2 innings, they played tremendous baseball, like on both sides of the ball. And I think the bullpen, and like you said, the starters getting Verlander back is definitely going to carry the Astros deep into the postseason. But
I
not
just want to
past the
let you know
O's.
something now. You will not, until the Phillies and Braves are eliminated, you will not see me watching the MLB playoffs. I am boycotting the playoffs this year. I am. 1, I can't root against the Yankees this year. 2, the Braves and the Phillies are probably going to play each other again. Last year was bad enough.
Who'd you want to? Wait, let me guess. Who did you want to win that series? The Phillies.
Philly.
Okay.
I hate Atlanta much more. Dude, the Atlanta Braves are my second least favorite team in all of sports, just behind the USC Trojans. It goes USC Trojans, Atlanta Braves, 40 Winers, New Jersey Devils, aka
40.
Little Brother,
Oh my god.
and the Brooklyn Nets.
The Brooklyn Nets. What did they do to
But
you?
bro, the Nets. It's not even that big of a. I wouldn't say that Knicks and Nets is a.
Do you forget which team I support, Hef?
Yeah, but it's not like.
Oh, it's
that
because they
big
have
of
all
a
these
deal.
hype and they failed the super team so colossally. Speaking of colossal failures, who do you guys think were the biggest disappointments in Major League Baseball? Yes, I just came up with on the fly. I'm that damn good at this.
JJ, take that that thing away. Take that biggest disappointments thing away, please, if you don't mind.
Oh man.
Honestly, I think they're a bigger disappointment than we are because at least we've been bad the entire season. These guys were 15 games over 500 at one point.
Yep.
My friend sends me a picture, and it's of July 4th when the Yankees beat the Orioles, and he's like, look at the records, and I look and I see 1 game back of Baltimore. I was like, yeah, and then in my head, the "Where Has the Time Gone" song cues. Yeah, true. Where has the time gone?
Oh man.
I hate baseball this year.
I-
My answer for biggest disappointment, we've already mentioned the Yankees, we already mentioned the Mets, but I think the answer is clear. It is either the St. Louis Cardinals or the Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah.
They bought so much at the trade deadline, and they just let them all
Yeah.
go on waivers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Just let them all go on waivers.
I
It's
saw
really
a stat
sad.
earlier today that Giolito in 6 starts, almost a 7 ERA.
Ouch.
And look at Randall Grichuk too. He was hitting over 300 with Colorado. Gets to Anaheim. He's around like 196
Yeah.
batting
It's
average.
brutal.
They drop off. It's like the stigma of playing there is just
Yes.
so hard.
And the other thing I gotta mention is, just like you did in real life, let's turn that frown upside down. Let's get to the biggest
No,
overachiever.
JJ, I never gave you my biggest disappointment.
Yeah, you can't skip it.
We know who your answer is gonna be. It's gonna be the New York Mets.
No, see, I'm gonna go with something creative, like the Yankees and the Mets have obviously been
Chicago
disappointing.
White Sox.
Let's go with the Padres.
Oh.
Let's go with the San Diego Padres. You have
There you go.
Tatis, you have Juan Soto, you have
Bogarts,
Bogarts, you have
Machado,
and
Snell,
your
Darvish.
best, Snell, Darvish, Hader. Your best player is Ha-Seong Kim. No offense to Ha-Seong Kim. He's great. I love him. I think he's fun to
He's been
watch.
phenomenal this
He
year.
has been phenomenal, but the Padres expected him to be phenomenal around all the other stars they have to be phenomenal, and the stars have not been phenomenal at all. And I think I just said phenomenal more than I've ever said it in my life. But
This man is getting onto the thesaurus levels of vocabulary.
You just talked about the Nets failing a super team, and you're looking at the Padres who are doing the exact same thing. And it's not like the other players besides the stars are no names. You have Jake Cronenworth in there. Trent Grisham has some sneaky
Don't
power.
say his name, please. I don't want 2022 flashbacks. Don't say his name.
When he owned you guys.
Oh my god, dude. It's always the most random player you could guess. Connor Gillespie, Eric Hosmer, Trent Grisham.
And then
God.
Matt Carpenter too. It's honestly
Yankees legend Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, like Yankees legend Matt Carpenter.
the stash. The stash.
The recipes to the stash. Yes.
Rest in peace, Sash.
But speaking of all that, I get we've all gone on to the negatives of the MLB season, but let's talk about the few and far between the positives of the season. The biggest overachievers. Go on. Praise your Baltimore Orioles a little bit more, because they're my obvious answer for biggest overachiever.
How can it not be the Baltimore Orioles?
It is.
2021. In 2020, let's start there. We were in 4th place in the AL East, so we were above the Red Sox. And I was starting to look, and I was like, "There's maybe some signs of hope here, right?" And then 2021, 52 and 110,
Ouch.
and my confidence went straight back down. But we had a rising star in Cedric Mullins, 30-30 season, Silver Slugger, 9th in MVP voting. Yep. Pull it up.
JJ's pulling it.
Pull it up. I got my jersey.
My
in
favorite
the
player on the
closet over
Orioles
there.
by far.
My jersey in the closet over there.
When Hef saw that shirt, he went ballistic. He went crazy.
And then
Because let's be honest, he didn't think I was actually going to buy it. But I did. $45 down the drain.
not down the drain.
It's
That's a
worth
good
it.
cause. Good cause. But
Hey,
then,
2025, bro, 2025 AL MVP.
yeah, come on now. And then 2022, we started out the year very rocky, right? And then I remember I went to a game in April where we started Spencer Watkins,
Oh,
who was awful. We started him against the Brewers, and there was a ground ball, I remember, right back to him with 2 outs, and he tried to flip it over to Trey Mancini, standing maybe 7 feet away, and he threw it over his head, and 3 runs scored that inning, and we lost. And that's when I realized, I was like, this team actually has no hope. And
That's
then
funny.
we called up Adley. I remember I was in school. I was like, we're calling up Adley. I went bonkers. I went absolutely bananas. I lost my mind. And then he came in, and then all of
You
a
bring in
sudden,
Gunner.
we started winning games, and we brought up Gunner, hit a homer in his first big league game.
Brett Beatty did the same thing.
Doesn't matter because Gunner's rookie of the year and Brett Beatty isn't.
Brett
But-
Beatty's back in the minors. Well,
And
technically
then-
he's not. He's back in the
And
majors.
then, yeah, they went 83 and 79 last year, which I'm like, this team is actually improving. And then I see all these preseason predictions, right? I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'm looking at MLB.com, and all of them are the Orioles in last place. All of them.
I just want to say I'm sorry for the things I said about your team.
Yeah,
I
all of
apologize.
them. And I'm like, I'm
Can you
sitting
forgive
there.
me?
I forgive you because of the Mullins jersey, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, I watch this team more than anyone, and I know that we're going to be ready. And I know the starters were pretty bad, right? Last year they weren't good. We had Jordan Lyles. We got rid of him, thank God.
He was awful.
He was awful. And I'll never forget his complete game shutout, though. That was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
But then we had some rising stars, right? So now this year, Bradish has been great. Dean Kramer's been great. Tyler
That
Wells
just
was
feels
good.
weird
And then
hearing all
came
those
back.
things.
And then came to admitting Tyler Wells he's down in Double A. He's getting his stuff back. We have John Means coming up soon, and I don't want to say I told you so to everyone who I told that the Orioles were going to be amazing, but no one believed me. And now as we're looking at this, and we've already reached our entire win total from last year, and it's August.
Yeah.
It's about to be September in 12 minutes, but we've
Oh.
already reached our win total from last season, and it's August, and that's just the growth. And it's just such an incredible sight, and the trust that I have in Mike Elias now is so different from a couple years ago. When we were getting rid, like last year, Adley came up, right? Started winning, reached the deadline, trade Jorge Lopez, our only All-Star.
Yeah,
Trade Trey Mancini.
that was shocking to me. Lopez was shocking.
Yeah. JJ, guess who broke the news to me about those 2 trades?
What news are you talking about?
The Trey Mancini trade and the Jorge Lopez trade. Guess who broke the news to me?
Who did?
Jay Smiles. Jay Smiles texted me. He got the news before me.
Wait, did
Yeah,
I
he texted
actually? I
me.
don't remember this.
You
Did
did.
I?
You
You
guys
did.
knew each other before?
Yeah,
Bro,
rookie
last
camp.
year.
Rookie camp, man.
I didn't. I forgot that we all went to the same.
He texted me, and I could actually, honestly, I could pull up the text
Yeah,
right
please
now.
pull it. I don't remember this.
I could pull up the text.
I
So
have a friend
you-
who's an Orioles fan. You know her. We know her better known as Wayla.
Yep.
She was absolutely broken when Trey Mancini got traded. Broken.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think.
Bro, Heffy, Team Alabama was a second family, bro.
Of course. Come on. We had
Funny story about
the text
that.
messages
We
are
are
reading,
running.
by the way.
We're getting
Aw.
closer to an hour. Hef is getting close to Matt Welling time in terms of longest.
It's
text we've ever had
all
on
good.
here.
It's all good. It's all good.
We love to see it though. I
Hey,
just
wait,
wanna say,
you were saying about the Mancini shirt. Sorry.
Yeah,
Here,
no,
hold on. You guys brought up Alabama. I just got to
Yeah.
make this real quick. So I was on Team Notre Dame. My team sucked. We were so bad, and then I met guys. I met Matt. I met Maggie, and I'm like, and I was with them for like the majority of the time. I met them, Jared. I met Caputo, And basically what I did was I hopped into the transfer portal
Oh,
and
my-
went from Notre Dame to Georgia. I didn't actually switch teams, but I was with them all the time. And when I went to the Yankees game, I was with Matt, Lonnie, Maggie, Devin, who I remember forever, and Jared. All of us were together because my partner sucked. He was terrible. So I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going over there. And I kept calling the game and dropped a few F-bombs in and out, but it was a Yankees-Red Sox game. Who gives a
Oh,
fuck?
all right.
He does have a point. I'm not gonna lie, JJ. You do have a point.
And that game was absolutely bananas.
No, but just to finish off what I was saying, Adley got called up May last year. We haven't been swept since, and I really do think this team is special. I mean, you hear Orioles magic all the time, and our preseason playoff odds were I think 9.6, maybe even less than that.
I should have bet on the Orioles.
And now you look at the screen, and it says 99.9%,
Yo,
and that is absurd to me.
F, why didn't you call me before the season and tell me to bet on the Orioles?
I mean, I wasn't, no offense, JJ, but
You didn't know me. That's fair.
I wasn't really, I wasn't.
I wish I
number
knew you.
one.
That way you could have made me some money.
Yeah, I easily could have made you some money.
100%. I
If
did
I
bet on
was-
I bet on the Mets to make the playoffs, and that is going terribly.
Are there any National League teams that have been eliminated from playoff contention yet?
No, it's just the A's and Royals.
Royals, yeah.
We'll be there soon.
Maybe
We're about a week
let's
away.
see. Who is it? I mean,
I think the Rockies are the
Yeah, I
last.
was gonna say the Rockies might be the next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I used to follow so many Mets fan pages on like Twitter and stuff. I've already unfollowed half of them just to limit the slander that I'm gonna get when this team does miss the playoffs.
Oh man,
It's a phase. I'm a Mets fan. I'm used to pain.
it's all good, JJ. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I watched this team lose 115 games back in 2018.
Listen, I watched this team blow a 7-run lead to the Washington Nationals that pretty much eliminated us from the playoffs. I watched Lucas Duda throw a ball 5 feet to the side of Travis d'Arnaud in the World Series, and then watched the Mets give up 5 runs in the 12th inning against the Royals. I watched this team trade for Javier Baez and Trevor Williams, and both of them left in the offseason. I watched the Mets give Max Scherzer $43 million, and I jumped up and down like a little girl on Christmas when they signed Justin Verlander. And now, here we are. You want to know what you do when you have pain like this? Just take a little drink.
That's water. That better be water.
It's water.
Hold on,
You can
JJ,
literally see the Poland Spring on the bottom.
We're not sponsored.
Yeah, not
I'm
sponsored.
not
Not sponsored.
But I do want to
the
say
Mets
this
are
right
gonna
now.
met.
I am 100% getting sponsored by Clutch Points because they are the single greatest website I've ever seen. They come up with all the excellent graphics I have. I appreciate them so much. They're awesome.
Shout out Clutch Points.
Clutch Points is awesome. And they got graphics like every team. You can literally look up Orioles on there. They'll come up with some crazy like AI. I wouldn't say they're AI generated, but they are awesome.
Speaking of shout outs, to end today's episode, we have a mail time is back.
Oh God.
Sir, mail time is back, and take the IG out. Get the IG out. We're not
Oh,
leaking no addresses. The Vancouver Canucks have said
Ah, yes, the team that riots every time they
the
lose.
team that riot. So today, they sent a little envelope. I'm not leaking my address. If you want to send me something, you can. Nope, never mind. All right, so today we're gonna start. Oh my gosh, it's already falling out. So we're gonna start with the super tattoos.
Nice little fin. Oh yeah, Hef, I still have the Eddie Murray bobblehead all boxed up, ready for you whenever you want.
Whenever I see you next, man.
If I know
Oh.
that you're gonna be somewhere, I will bring that bobblehead with me.
So
JJ,
Oh.
let me do something real quick before I have to get off after mail time. Let me do something real quick.
Take your time, kiddo.
anyway, continuing on, we got some cards. We got Andrei Kuzmenko, and it's got all his
That guy's a baller.
We got Elias Pettersson, their best
Elias Pettersson.
player. Elias Pettersson,
Elias. yeah, you
and
gotta
we
say
got
it.
Finn. We got Finn.
Yes! Yes!
To finish
Yes!
off finish off. I'm not gonna read the letter because my phone might.
This calls for it.
Oh, we got a letter. I'm not gonna read this whole thing because they said, "Thanks for being a fan." I'm not a fan.
Rip it up. Rip it up. Rip it up. Rip it up.
I'm not ripping it up, but I'm not a fan, baby. LGR.
LGR. Well, this was sure an episode. We are just about to hit an hour, and we are just about, what are we, 17 hours away from kickoff for our football season. Fuck New Rochelle. That's pretty much all I got left. Hef, thank you so much for coming on, man. You're an absolute
Hey.
legend.
Thank you guys.
Mr. Hotshot, Mr. Hollywood, Mr. Williamsport.
Oh man, thank you guys so much for
Hope
having
that
me.
we all get down there someday.
It's gonna be great. Free admission. Always ready to come down.
100%. Yeah. Well, have a good night, Hef. Take it easy,
Hey,
kiddo.
thanks, boys. See ya.
Anytime. Wow, that was an episode.
Yeah.
That was an episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is just about 12 o'clock. I'm about to knock, and hopefully the Mets fire 3 or 4 people by the time.
Hey,
I'm
go
done.
knock out some New Rochelle kids tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. The journey starts now. We will
Journey
make
starts
it
now,
back to
baby.
the dome this season. We are going back to the dome this season. This time, though, we're going to win that motherfucker. We are not losing twice. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. I'm JJ Sags, DJ Smiles.